Hey, quick disclaimer. I know I'm wearing the same shirt and my hair is just vaguely the same length, maybe. This is an old video I did on past lives on my rom-com video, which I'm not too proud of, to be honest, but I'm just ripping it and just putting it here. So, yeah, for context, it's about talking about the destiny trope, and that's about it, really. That's about all you need to know. More videos coming. Thank you for watching. I don't ask for much, but like and subscribe. Thank you.
The two outcomes of a potential relationship never mattered more outside of this trope. Eternal Sunshine, for example, is a movie I absolutely adore in terms of its presentation and use of sci-fi elements to explore the idea of destiny and its inevitability. That even through receiving this amazing gift where you are able to erase the memory of someone who you find to be plaguing your mind is not even enough to thwart away fate. Il Mare, a Korean movie, a great one, that plays a lot with the same idea. A guy and a girl living under the same house while simultaneously being 2 years apart from each other. I applaud their originality and creativity. But this concept and idea continues to leave a bitter taste in my mouth by continuing the same train of thought that Eternal Sunshine started. Also, The Adjustment Bureau, another story that involves predetermined fate precisely arranged by an all-knowing organization. Adapted from renowned sci-fi writer Philip K. Dick. Funny how that's a recurring theme here, huh? The story is about someone fighting against their predetermined fate. But in doing so, it only supplements the idea that the characters believe the partner they are fighting for now are the ones they are believed to be destined to be with in the first place. And there are just so many more examples where the destiny trope continues this rotten train of thought that I couldn't stop. But sometimes, a movie would come out, and the opposite would happen, as it did for me with Past Lives. And sorry, I know this video took a turn into a Past Lives review, but I don't care. This makes sense. Just let me get to it. Maybe it is just a me problem, and that I haven't really looked for movies that gave me the exact feeling Past Lives did. And what is that feeling, you ask me? Nothing. Beautiful, serene, nothing. This movie exemplifies the idea a lot. I have a many problem with silence and its detrimental effects to my mental health, as I have spoken about in my previous existential horror video. And even though I can be at peace with me avoiding silence entirely, it has also taken over my social life as well. Hanging out with friends, families, or sometimes even loved ones. I know for a fact that I just couldn't really ever shut the fuck up. Be it the uncomfortable silence, awkward pauses, unanswered questions left hanging in the air, I just couldn't really bear the absence of meaningful conversation. But oh my god, did this movie really hammered home the importance of all that. Never have I imagined seeing such an effective portrayal of what chemistry between two people, with so little words said, but with so many unspoken words that stand between a couple who are so clearly deeply in love. The long stares, the visible deep thoughts, and the helpless smile that always seem to spread across their faces whenever they stare at each other for a bit too long. I know there are many movies where these examples are used previously. For example, the record store scene in Before Sunrise, the stairwell scene in the movie Love. What really made this specific message click for me was really because of how mature the story is in the way it's trying to deliver its message. And of course, the soundtrack. I have to give my props to Chris Bear and Daniel Rosen, who I didn't know even soundtracked the film. When the movie started, I knew I was already in for another all-timer of soundtrack. But I almost jumped out of my chair when the end credit rolls and those two beautiful bastards came up in the end credits. I've only just recently discovered Chris Bear, and I've been overplaying Ready, Able, and Three Rings straight into my top Spotify songs 2022 and 2023. And I know they are in some sort of hiatus right now because the lead singer has apparently become a therapist. Good for you, Ed. Of course, I wish them well, but now I can be at peace knowing I can still hear Chris Bear's raucous rhythms and Daniel Rosen's discordant guitar melodies for years to come in more movies I'm sure I will love. Back to why this movie broke me so much. It's because I just adored the direction the story went. As the line from the movie said, and I quote,
I just can't compete. Childhood sweethearts who reconnect 20 years later only to realize they were meant for each other. In the story, I would be the evil white American husband standing in the way of destiny. Is this what you pictured for yourself? Laying in bed in some tiny apartment in the East Village with some Jewish guy who writes books.
It would be so easy for past lives to do so. But no, it was never about the conflict between the characters. It's always been about turning the whole destiny trope entirely on its head. Call me sentimental or cheesy, but when the movie started and completely nailed the portrayal of childhood nostalgia, I couldn't help but instantly root for Nora and Haesung. And that was it. That was all that it took for me to root the characters. And that was the moment it clicked for me. No overbearing monologue that I previously thought would be necessary to show how much a person can love someone else. And that wondrous feeling continued throughout the movie. Barring the bar scene, there wasn't much said between Haesung and Nora. They gave out details about their lives, sure, but not for a single moment did they talk about their feelings towards each other. Because they didn't need to. Everything unspoken had already been said in their imaginary conversations whenever they stared deeply into each other's eyes. Pure, unaltered chemistry. Nothing. It's all down to Celine Song's clear understanding of boundaries and such well-realized characters. After watching interviews with the cast and Celine Song herself, it made a whole lot of sense when I found out that this story is actually based on her experience.
Past Lives is a movie that I was inspired by this moment in my life.
And the use of Inyon as the explanation of why their chemistry alone is enough to propel Haesung across the world to simply see Nora for one more time. The complicated justification of one's selfishness to simply ask Nora to leave Arthur behind and just go along with fate. I'll revisit Past Lives in a different video, and I'll talk more about the specific story beats and character actions and the use of Inyon that moves me so much. All that set up for only the movie ending the way it did. It just gave me the most mixed concoction of emotional whiplash I have ever felt in a film. Thanks, Celine.